Hey everybody, Charlie 902 here, and welcome back to Star Citizen. And today it is IAE Day 3, Aegis Dynamics. Stay tuned, we'll take a look around. Okay everybody, here we are, Aegis Day. One of my favorite days of the IAE, as Aegis is such a prolific ship manufacturer. They have so many ships and a lot of variety. Mostly focused on military, but as you can see by the giant reclaimer there in the background, they also have industry ships as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at each and every ship and do a quick talk about each one. First, let's hit this little tried and true button here.
No ship manufacturer personifies this year's theme better than Aegis Dynamics. Whether you're running cargo in a Retaliator or providing security in a Gladius, Aegis ships are putting in work in every corner of the verse. Regardless of the controversies that have plagued them over the centuries, pilots continue to trust their lives and livelihood to their tried and true designs.
Alright, let's start over here at the Saber. Saber is a medium stealth fighter with a good weapon loadout, I believe, as far as hard points go. You have 4 size 3s, so you can do a monoboat quite easily. It's quite agile for its size. It got decent speed. Overall, just a really nice looking ship. I think one of the downsides is from the top and from the bottom you have a pretty large silhouette, but other than that, this is one of the best, if not the best, medium fighters out there right now. Aegis Saber. Pick one up if you're interested in it, but I also recommend this be in the IAE. Look at this. You can rent any ship here and fly it around and test it for yourself. Alright, we're going to hit the Reclaimer here in a minute. Let's get the small ships out of the way. So this is a special loadout and livery for the Saber. This is the Saber Comet. You can see here, what are these Omniskies here? Or Omniskis, I think is how you actually are supposed to pronounce them. And then you have this digital, almost like winter camo pattern that's on it. Definitely a cool ship. Alright, is there anything else here other than the Reclaimer? Probably not. The Reclaimer is massive. Alright, so Reclaimer, I've done a full walkthrough and review on this ship. Just go check that out on my channel if you're interested in it. But just a quick overview. One, the sheer scale of this ship is just absolutely massive, and when we have it clearly lit up in this showroom hall here, you can clearly see, you know, all the intricacies in it. They took a lot of inspiration from the Nostromo from Alien, and this ship's main focus is salvage. You have this large claw on the front here. It's meant to grasp hold of ship hulls, and then with a series of drones and smaller arms, tear that ship apart. And then there is a refinery inside the ship here to tear it down to its base metals for salvage and sell. Very cool ship. Definitely come check it out in the IAE. Come do a tour, rent the ship, test it out. It's very difficult to fly and get out of atmosphere, but I mean, you would expect that, right? If you're looking for the entrance, it's right there, this vertical shaft with the flashing lights up there. Alright, let's check out the bottom here. Aegis has quite a few ships, so this may take a minute, but we'll get through here. Alright, so the bottom usually has ground vehicles and concept vehicles. Concept being ones that you, or concept ships rather, not vehicles, being ones that aren't in the game yet but are slated to be. Let's see what we got around the corner here. Alright, so this is the Vulcan. It's the rear of the ship. Let's go to the front. So the Vulcan is a smaller, almost Reclaimer inspired shape, but it's not asymmetrical. This one obviously is symmetrical. Vulcan does rearm, refuel, and repair. A little bit of all three. Probably a jack of all trades and not a master of any of those. As far as I remember, the concept had 12 SCU of cargo, so that may limit you as to which you want to specialize in. You may have to determine before you leave if you want to do repair, refuel, or recargo, or excuse me, not recargo. Repair, refuel, replenish. I don't know why I said recargo, I'm sorry. Replenish meaning you're going to take ammunition and supplies out to vehicles that need it. Now you do have drones that come out of this vehicle. I believe you have 4 total, but at any one time can operate 2. These drones will do your replenish, your repair, and your refuel, and here's your tank to carry extra fuel in order to give it to those ships. Alright, check it out here. It says refuel, repair, rearm. Become a one-person support crew with Aegis Dynamics versatile Vulcan, supplying aid to pilots on the fly, whether pinned down under heavy fire or in need of ammunition. Low on quantum fuel, after an ill-planned jump or stranded in unknown space with a busted thruster, the pilot in distress can always count on a Vulcan and its cadre of drones to lend speedy, efficient assistance. So you almost like little AAA vehicles that can come out and help people. Cool ship. I believe it's a bit overpriced. I think it's $200 US right now for concept. I think it should be a little less than that. But still, if you're interested in that gameplay, definitely check that out. Alright, here we go with the Nautilus. Nautilus has one of the cooler ship designs, I think. If you were to ask me, I would think it looks like an anvil ship based on this bridge, cockpit, and the angular designs. But it's not. It's an Aegis ship. It has the VTOL-esque thrusters here. I don't know if they actually are going to be VTOL, but they look like they can rotate. This is a mine layer / mine sweeper ship. Alright, so you see this little piece coming off here. There's one on the other side here, and then one on the bottom and one on the top. That is how you deploy your mines. It also has drones for collecting mines, and I believe these are 2 size 7s on the front and a manned turret just under the cockpit. Very cool ship, one I'm definitely interested in. They've spoke about having mines that are able to kind of detect ships nearby and follow them, as well as having like stationary turret mines as well and EMP. So I think you can do quite a bit with this vehicle as far as creating area of denial as well as clearing area of denials. So cool ship. If I remember correctly, I believe that's $725 US, and you do not have to do that. You can earn it in game once it's out. All of these ships can be earned in game. The cool thing about the IAE is all these ships can be rented for free to try out for a few days. Obviously not the concepts, they're not in game yet, but the ones that we see on the showroom floor. Alright, let's head up, see what else we can look at for Aegis Day. Big day for Aegis too, because the Redeemer is just recently released. It's a ship that everybody was looking forward to, and there's a price increase on it, a fairly significant one too. I believe it was $75 price increase, went from $250 to $325, which I'm happy about because I'm going to use that as a stepping stone to some other vehicles. So it's basically like a $75 coupon that I now have. Let's go see if we can find it. It's going to be in one of these other halls here. So we've got 2 and 3, so there's and 1 over there, so there's going to be quite a few ships. Aegis makes quite a few. Alright, so Zenith Hall 2. Let's look at the map. Yeah, see, we're over here. We're going to check out this side, then we're going to head to the other side and check out ships there. So we'll try to go fairly quick. I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to speak a little bit about all these ships. So there is the Redeemer that we were talking about. This thing is impressive. Right? It is a gunship, which is why it looks very much like a modern-day helicopter, kind of like spacified. It has 2 manned dual-size 5 turrets, and these come standard with ballistic Gatlins. All right, the pilot gets 2 fixed size 4 with a turret with dual size 3, so 2 size 4, 2 size 3 for the pilot-controlled weaponry. And then on the back there is a aft, I guess that is, aft-mounted turret that comes out on tracks to this position and has dual size 3s as well. But I think the main thing that makes the Redeemer so deadly other than all this firepower, is that it has 2 large shields. This is the smallest ship you can get with 2 large shields. So for PvE especially, this makes the Redeemer very deadly for military contracts and bounty hunting. There's also a small space. I believe you could fit 2 SCU of cargo inside. So you've got a little bit of variety in the gameplay you can do. It's not nearly as multi-purpose as something like a Constellation. This is 100% a combat-focused ship, but you can do a little bit more. You can do package missions. You can use this as troop transport. There are 4 jump seats inside. Very cool ship. I'm glad to own one. All right, moving on, we have the Avenger. There's a few different versions of the Avenger here. This one is the Stalker. All right. Stalker will have, let's see if we can see in here real quick. Stalker has prisoner pods in the back. You can see them lining the sides here. There's 3 on that side, 3 on this side. So this will be a bounty hunting focused Avenger. Avenger is a starter ship, one of the best starter ships in my opinion, especially the Titan. I believe this is the Titan, right? Yeah. The Titan has, let's see if we can hop up here. Titan has cargo in the back. I believe it is 8 SCU. I may be wrong on that. But you have a bed for logout. You have cargo. You got decent speed, decent firepower with, you can put a fixed size 4 on the front, 2 size 3s on the sides. Just an all-around great starter ship to kind of let you do a little bit of everything and kind of figure out what you prefer to do. Now there should be a couple other variants of the Avenger on this side. Let's go check them out. Here is the custom livery of the Avenger Renegade, which has the advocacy paint job on it and a different loadout. And I believe it is a version of the Titan. I want to double check this. If we look in the back here, we'll be able to tell. Yeah, this is a special livery for the Titan. And then this one should be the Warlock. Yes, the Warlock replaces the cargo and prisoner pods with an EMP generator, which looks very dangerous to walk through, but also very cool to look at. So you have an EMP on this one, which could be beneficial if working in tandem with a Stalker for bounty hunter capture. Alright, that's enough about the Avengers and the awe-inspiring Redeemer. I love that thing. They did a very awesome job with that ship. Let's go to the next hall. I think we have 3 more halls to go to. I'm going to try to run without passing out. If we do pass out, I'll just cut the video and restart afterwards, but we are running everywhere in a full suit of armor. Alright, so the third hall here. Ooh, yeah, my heart rate's getting up there. Let's slow down a little bit as we come around the corner. Looks like this will connect to 1. Yeah, it does. Alright. Massive ship in here. We got a few smaller ships, if I can speak correctly. So, we have the Gladius and probably the Gladius Valiant. Which one is this? This looks like the standard, right? Yeah, this is the Gladius. Gladius is a light fighter akin to Anvil's Arrow. Very maneuverable, a bit tougher than the Arrow, which is why I like to liken this to like a light medium fighter almost. Great ship, great cockpit visibility. This one is the gold standard that all ships will follow, as it will feature prominently in Squadron 42. So any updates to UI or tech or anything tends to come to this ship. So like, look at this. Maybe let us open it. You got a weapon rack comes out the front. That's cool, right? Your ladder comes out this side. Can we just open the ladder? Yeah, just want to do that. Look at these cool animations for this ship. So this is a carrier-based light fighter meant to fit into other ships such as the Idris, Kraken, Polaris, any other ships that can carry ships. It doesn't have an insanely long range, but it's very maneuverable and is very hard-hitting for its size as well. Great ship. I love the Gladius. Let's go check a look at the other one. This is probably the Valiant, which is a special edition livery of the Gladius. Has a different loadout of weapons, as you can see here, and a special paint. Pretty cool. Alright, so, the Hammerhead. We're not going to do an internal tour of this. I actually plan on doing a full review video of the Hammerhead, but we will briefly talk about it. So take a look at these turrets. These turrets, much like the Carrack, extend out and have huge firing arcs. They also have quad size 4 weapons. All right, there's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side, 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. 4, 5, 6 turrets, 6 times 4 size 4 weapons. We also have a large docking collar at the front, an underslung cockpit, which is very unique. And then the pilot has access to missiles. I don't want to lie to you and tell you what size they are. I believe they're, I don't want to guess, but size, they have torpedoes. But the pilot has no pilot-controlled weaponry. This is strictly an anti-fighter / anti-projectile screening platform. It's not entirely fast, but it's meant to protect assets and protect area and deny entry and access to certain areas. And it is a very effective ship and a very cool ship. Also one that's very intimidating to fight. You can find them on PvE missions and bounty missions. 2 large-sized shields in this to give you reference as to what size vehicles to normally expect dual large-sized shields. So that should give you a little more respect for the Redeemer, which is maybe the length of the cockpit plus a little more, and has the same amount of shielding as this weapon system here. Does not negate the Hammerhead at all. The Hammerhead definitely serves a purpose, but its focus is more smaller ships, whereas the Redeemer, having size 5s, can actually go after larger prey. All right, let's go try to find our way to the other halls here. Imagine it's on the other side of the main hall. I don't think we missed anything here. Let's check the map, make sure we didn't. Yeah, it's just the Hammerhead, if the thing will come into focus. There we go, Hammerhead and the Gladius. So let's go check out the Eclipse and the Retaliator. So yeah, if you're interested in a Redeemer, there is a Warbond CCU. I believe it is for $250, which will be the original pledge price, but you have to do fresh cash for that. Definitely check that out if you're interested. If you're interested in picking up a Reclaimer, now's your time. The Reclaimer didn't go up much in price. It went up from $350 to $400, and that was a few years ago that it did that. I believe once it became flight ready is when it bumped up in price. But I really wouldn't be surprised once salvage came online in the game to see it receive another price bump. It seems to be quite the bargain, and I know that's silly to say for something that's $400 US, but when compared to other ships in Star Citizens, it seems to be quite the bargain for what you're getting, especially since it should just generate money once you can find ships to salvage. So here we have the Eclipse, one of the coolest looking ships in Star Citizen. Definitely not for me, but I do appreciate the design of it, and this is terrifying. Okay, we just we'll ignore that. So the Eclipse is the stealth bomber in Star Citizen. You have size 9, I believe, torpedoes, 3 of them, and this ship is super stealth. It's very focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's delivering its payload without being seen from great distance. Definitely has a cool design. I'll probably go ahead and rent one of these once I get the chance just to fly it around, just because I love how it looks. But I feel that it's too niche and too singular focus for my taste, especially for the price. Which I believe, I'm not 100%, I believe it's close to 300. I think it's like $295 for that ship, if I'm not, I might be mistaken on that, but it's very high for what it is. So its bigger brother is the Retaliator bomber. The Retaliator, I actually really like the chassis because of its modularity. Inside the Retaliator, you have a forward and rear torpedo bay for size 9 torpedoes, and those can be changed out for living quarters, for troop transport, and you can change it out for cargo. Retaliator, for its size, is very stealth and has lots of smaller turrets for defense. Let's see if we can see some of them. Here's one on the bottom, and I believe these turrets got a buff to size 3 weapons. I may be mistaken, but I think there's one on the bottom, there's 2 on the top rear, there's 1 on the top. I think there's some think overall there's 5 turrets. I may be mistaken. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 or 5 turrets. The pilot has no weaponry that he controls directly other than the torpedoes, so it relies heavily on crew members to man these turrets. This, to me, seems very much like a B-52 bomber, but in the space age. Very cool ship. The aesthetics of it are very aggressive. I like it. I wouldn't buy the bomber variant, though. I would buy the base variant and then get the bomb bays in-game. The base variant's only $150. I think that's a steal. That's cheaper than a Taurus. That's the same price as a Freelancer Max. So I would recommend the base version of the Retaliator if you're considering the Retaliator at all. All right, let's move on. Zenith Hall. Oh, this is cool. This is the first time we've seen this side. They have an asteroid here rather than the moon. It's pretty cool. I like that. Or not moon. I think that was the planet of Microtech they had on the other side. All right, this should be the last hall, hall number 5. Check this out. All right, this is the Vanguard hall. Completely filled with Vanguards. Vanguards is a ship that I have a soft spot for. They are the heavy, long-range fighter. Now, originally, they were meant to kind of be the A-10 analog. I think the Crusader Ares Inferno kind of took that position over. But you can still kind of see how all of the weapon systems, you have 4 internal here, and then you've got 1 underslung gimbaled size 4 that can be replaced with a size 5 that just looks ridiculous. But all of the weapons are centerline. And then the cool thing about the Vanguard series is all of the components are doubled, much like you would have in an A-10 Warthog. So you've got 2 power plants, 2 shields, 2 coolers. So essentially you have redundancy built right in. This is a tough, tough ship. Now, being a heavy fighter, I believe it has 2 medium shields. It's got decent armor. I love the treads for the landing gear. All right, and this one is the Harbinger, all right, which is the bomber variant. So we're just going to hop in here just real quick and look at all the amenities you get for this fighter. So you have a turret and you have a pilot seat. So it's a 2-man version of a ship. You have 2 bunks. You've got a latrine. And you've got armor storage. All right. You also have a weapon rack. So very versatile ship. Kitchenette. And then this one has the bomb bay. And I love this. Look at this. From Aegis with Love. And I believe these are size 5 torpedoes. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. And I believe this one gets a little bit better armor, but is a bit slower than the other variants. This is the Harbinger. Very cool variant. Over here we've got the Hoplite, which is the dropship variant. And we hop in here, you'll see that all your amenities have been replaced with jump seats. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, along with their own weapon racks. Not this one. Here you go, some weapon racks here in storage, and then a large weapon rack in the back. That's the Hoplite. I believe the Hoplite's the cheapest one as well. In the middle is probably the Warden, which is the quote-unquote base variant. Yep, this is the Warden. No, don't rent. Don't want to rent. Cancel. I want to open the rear. Can we do... No, stop it. Cancel. Try from here. Try from here. Try from here. Alright. I'll try a couple more times. If we can't get inside, we'll... No, it's not looking like we can open it. Okay, so the inside of the Warden has basically the same things you have in the Harbinger, minus the torpedoes. But the Warden has a lifeboat, as you can see here, these little latches. The whole habitation area is supposed to be able to eject from the Warden to provide for enhanced survivability should you have to abandon your ship. All right, and then the last one, and this is probably my favorite of the variants, even though I do like the Warden a lot. This is the Sentinel. This is the E-War version, which to me is the most interesting because we don't have a ton of E-War ships in Star Citizen. I also really love the cobalt and yellow, or cobalt and gold paint scheme. Thankfully the ramp is open on this one, so we'll go ahead and hop in. I also like the interior the best of this one. You get this cool high-tech orange kind of see-through readout panel. You still have your latrine, you still have your storage, you still have your weapon rack, and your kitchen, and your bunks, but now you have this E-War station here, which should be good for electronic warfare type stuff. As of right now, it has an EMP, but that is a temporary ability that this vehicle has until full E-War comes into the game and it gets its own E-War functionality. But yeah, get this cool command station. I think it's slightly more nimble than some of the other variants, and it comes with a distortion and energy repeater loadout. Definitely worth checking out the Vanguard series. The Redeemer in no way negates the Vanguard's function. The Redeemer is very much only going to be really useful if multi-crewed, whereas the Vanguard can easily be soloed and be effective. It's obviously most effective with 2 personnel, whereas the Redeemer is most effective, I would say, with 4. Alright, so that's going to do it for Aegis Day. Thanks for watching. Tell me in the comments what you plan on picking up. I'm super stoked to see the price increase on the Redeemer. I've made a bunch of CCU purchases so that I can use that to piggyback and leapfrog to where I want to be with my current fleet. Alright, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.